Tokyo Detention Center. Ez az. LP Mike, köszi szépen a 60 hónap tier 2-t. Nagyon szépen köszi, hogy 5 éve itt vagy velünk, haver. GG a Steven Seagal batchhez. És az Aikido.
So, you're recommending
Nagyon köszönjük, hogy régóta itt vagy, LP Mike. Köszönjük a támogatást. GG a batchhez.
Evidence come to light?
Yui Mamiya told us some things, like how you faked your alibi for Mikoshiba's murder. You wanted the sexual battery conviction, right?
Köszi, LP Mike.
Well,
your goal was to avenge your son and humiliate the law on a grand scale.
Hát,
I have no idea what you're talking
nem sokat körülményeskedtek.
Ahara-san, we have a much better grasp of the situation than you think.
And what exactly have you grasped?
Like Yagami-san just said, you're innocent, as far as the harassment goes. As your lawyer, I'll file for an appeal, and we'll make sure the world knows it.
Thanks, but no. I'm scum of the earth. A pervert.
Hogy
The
játsza a
prosecution
hülyét?
and the judge made that very clear in the verdict.
On the day of the crime, October 7th, at around 6:30 a.m., you were in Ijincho, not Tokyo.
Baloney. I was relaxing at home.
Except that you weren't.
Oh?
You wanted to give the man who pushed your son to suicide the beating of a lifetime. And you'd miss out on that opportunity if you were at home, which is why you were in Ijincho instead. Isn't that right? You and Kawana's former student staked out Mikoshiba's house until he left. Then you dragged your prey into a car and brought him to an abandoned building in Ijincho, which would later become a murder scene. Every bone on Mikoshiba's fingers was broken. Remembering how he pushed Toshiro-kun to his death, it's no wonder you'd go that far. You tortured Mikoshiba without a shred of remorse. You inflicted no small amount of pain and terror. There's no way you weren't there, and I'd put my money on that.
Bizonyíték is van.
And then...
Na, mint tanú.
You need the whole play-by-play, even though you already know it?
Oh, not at all. I'm just fascinated.
Vagy csak
by this
hallani akarja, hogy
outrageous
pontosan mit tud
little
Yagami.
story.
Aha. Megmutatunk neki egy bizonyítékot, hogy mit csinált azután, hogy megölte Mikoshibát. Igazából ezek a bizonyítékaink vannak eddig is. Közvetlenül azután? Ezt amúgy is meg akartam mutatni neki, hogy ehhez mit szól.
As for what you did next after beating Mikoshiba,
It's quite a home video.
without leaving anything on Mikoshiba's body that could be traced back to you, you slit his throat. Estimated time of death was around 7:30 a.m. on October 7th. You tossed the bloody coat and made your way to Ikebukuro Station, where Yui Mamiya was waiting.
Hallani akarja, hogy mit tud.
I was at Ikebukuro by 7:30 a.m. Would have been impossible for me to kill Mikoshiba in Ijincho.
The person in the security camera footage in Ikebukuro was a double who imitated your likeness.
Hallani akarja, hogy mit tud, mielőtt
The
azt mondja, hogy
identity of
fuck yeah.
whom belonged to Jin Kawana, the handyman in Ijincho. Or maybe you know him by a different name. Former high school teacher Yu Kitakata. So which name did he give you?
I don't know who you're talking about.
Még mindig tagad.
With Kawana in view of the security camera, you met up with Yui Mamiya at Ikebukuro first.
Nagy pókerbajnok,
That's where
mi?
you touched the undergarments she had prepared. The police would later discover the trace evidence on your hands and pin the groping on you. Then you made your way to Shinjuku Station. After
Hogy
that,
összeállt ez az ügy
Mamiya
is,
and
bazd
Kawana
meg?
acted out the groping as they
A sok
arrived
kis
at Shinjuku
részletből.
Station.
Tudtuk az elején valami nem stimmel, de hogy
Kawana
ennyire meg
jumped
van
out of the
tekerve.
train and Mamiya chased after him. And then, in the smallest of blind spots in a station absolutely packed with cameras, you were waiting for Kawana, who looked just like you. With the two of you matching, you were able to swap places in that huge crowd without anyone noticing.
Majd levette a
Kawana
maszkot,
handed you the
Kuana.
transit card used to pass the ticket gate, Just one piece of hard evidence that places you in Ikebukuro.
És ez a kis
7:43
belépőkártya a bizonyíték arra, hogy nem ölhette meg.
And right after the swap,
Pedig
Mom
de.
started calling for help.
És abban a pillanatban, hogy cseréltek, kezdett el kiabálni a nő,
We've all
hogy
seen how the
segítsen
news
valaki.
reported it. You were caught in a public place with plenty of witnesses.
Kismillió szemtanú,
An
kamerafelvételek.
active duty police officer arrested for sexual battery. The public outcry was very clear. As a result, despite it being your first offense, you were actually tried and convicted. The consensus is that it was a fitting punishment for someone so heinous. Even as your lawyer, I felt the same.
Have some confidence in yourself, Shirosaki-sensei. The prosecution, the judge, and a lawyer like you all laid out the evidence in court and found me guilty. I'm in no position to doubt you. And I've long accepted the ruling that Toshiro was never bullied.
Oh, most trollkodik.
There's nothing I can do but abide by the rule of law.
És ez a baj, hogy tovább játsza a gyökeret,
Right?
odáig
I know what
elmegy,
you're trying to
hogy
say.
letagadja, hogy a fia hogy halt
Carried
meg.
out the justice that the courts wouldn't, right?
Everything my son went through was passed off.
Ha nem ismeri el, akkor nem lesz újra tárgyalás. És ameddig érvényben van az, hogy ő követte el a nunizást,
Yes, the court.
nem követhette el a
They all
gyilkosságot,
dismissed the reason
Easy.
he died.
kurvára kitalálták,
That's
bazd
when
meg.
Kawana came in the picture, telling you Toshiro-kun had been bullied. But was it Kawana's words that suddenly made you want to kill Mikoshiba? Because all of his fingers were broken while he was still alive. Was that really all just your pent-up rage?
What do you have to say, Tahara-san?
Ki mondta el Eharának, hogy zaklatás áldozata lett a fia? Vajon Kuvana mondta el, hogy életbe tudjon lépni ugye a személyes igazságosztása? Vagy Sawa? Vagy a fia? Ha Sawa Sensei-től hallott róla, az fasság. A tárgyaláson Sawa azt mondta, hogy nem volt bullying. Nem tehetett mást. A fia mondta el neki, vagy Kuvana?
Did Kawana really tell you? You found enough motive to murder
Köszi a fél
Mikoshiba on
évet, Kuno
hearsay?
Bálint.
No. That doesn't sound right at all.
Nem ő mondta el. Létezik, hogy Sawa mondta volna el? Próbáljuk
Sawa
kimondom.
Sensei, the one who told you the truth? She
Ő
was the
tudta.
only person Toshiro-kun confided in.
Ő közel
Had
állt
to have
hozzá.
heard it from her, right?
Nearly hit the nail on the head, as they say.
Nearly?
After my trial, she confessed she knew about the bullying. But only to her old teacher over the phone. She had no idea she was being recorded.
Szóval lehallgatta a telefonját Ehara.
Kawana-san let me listen to that recording where I learned Sawa-sensei had been muzzled by both the homeroom teacher.
Szóval Kuvana mondta el Eharának, hogy zaklatták a fiát, de nem elmondta neki, hanem egy felvételt mutatott arról, amikor Sawa bevallja neki.
After hearing Sawa-sensei's words, I finally understood.
Tehát Sawa nem neki mondta el, hanem Kuvanának mondta el.
Was there no other evidence of the bullying? Like a diary of Toshiro-kun's or something of the sort?
Nothing. Toshiro
És
never talked to
nincsen
me or
semmilyen
my wife
bizonyíték
about
arra, hogy zaklatták a gyereket.
that.
Kurva élet!
Probably all my fault. He was bullied in middle school too. Kids would throw his pencil case around or hide his books. When I heard about it, I chewed him out. They walk all over you because you're weak. Grow spine, I told him.
Szóval ő is hibás volt.
I take it that was the wrong approach.
Yeah.
Korábban is szivatták már a srácot, de akkor azt mondta neki, hogy
Can't
legyen férfi.
imagine how much courage it took for him to come forward about his suffering. I'm sure he felt ashamed about it. And I should have listened when he pleaded for help.
Bizony.
I should have told him I was proud of his bravery. But instead, I pushed him away.
Ő is ugyanúgy hibás az egész
And in the
dologban.
end, Toshiro tried to make sure he never
Ennyi volt az
showed
értelme annak,
weakness
hogy azt
to
mondta
us
neki az apja, hogy legyél kemény, ne legyél kis punci.
how much pain he was in.
Annyit értek el vele, hogy többet nem szólt,
School out in Yokohama.
hogy baj van. Attól még volt baj,
Hated living,
csak többet nem merte mondani.
but in the end, he still suffered.
And that's why you didn't hesitate to unleash hell on Mikoshiba.
If you say so.
Nem vallja be!
So the first time Kawana
Ki
showed
kell
up
forgassuk.
was when he let you listen to the phone call with Sawa-sensei, right?
Yes. He approached me and asked me if I still wanted justice for my son. I was in uniform when he came to me too. Very bold. But it paid off. I owe him a debt of gratitude. He reassured me he had already taken care of multiple individuals like Goshiba, and that he'd urged other families to avenge the children they lost to bullying. He'd tell them that simply being branded a bully wasn't enough. He promised to deliver real justice.
Megölte őket.
If justice can be served at one's own discretion, laws would cease to serve their function. If the law isn't fair to everyone, no one will obey it.
Igen, csak ugye
The
itt a
law
nagy
is
kérdés
only
az,
able to
hogy a
help the
törvény
powerless, because
alól
it can't be
kibújtak
swayed
ezek az
by money,
emberek.
force, or
Senki sem
anything else.
büntette meg őket.
Then tell me, what's the solution when the law fails to punish someone who laughs in its face?
Itt a példa. Konkrétan ő és Kuvana most beleröhögnek a törvény pofájába.
To abandon those the law
Kinyírtak
couldn't
valakit
protect.
úgy, hogy felrakták az internetre. Ott
To
vagyok,
render
megöltem.
justice with confidence, you require
És nem-
sufficient evidence.
Akkor hogy lenne a törvény a megoldás?
Some of the victims' families refused Kawana's offer of revenge, telling him it would be unforgivable. But even after rejecting his offer, not a one reported Kawana-san to the police. Do you understand what that implies? Whether you follow through with revenge or not, Kawana-san presents a solution that resonates with people. Being that the law is unfair and imperfect. Am I wrong about that?
No, you're not.
Ne, ezt akartam mondani, nem
We're
téved.
fighting to make it as fair as we can. Laws have to change until they are perfect.
They don't change fast enough. Toshiro's death was murder by another name. Yet Hiromi Kushiba walked free. He even got to enroll in a teaching program as a student teacher. Someone like him? It's insane! I'd die of old age before the law was ever written to be fair enough.
Ez igaz. Soha nem fogja látni az igazát.
I can't turn a blind eye to a world where the Mikoshibas can live without consequence. Tell me, what alternative was there to getting blood on my hands? I didn't have any other choice.
Yagami-san, did he just...
Yes!
This is the first time you've admitted to killing Mikoshiba.
Bevallotta!
You really did your research, unlike those useless cops. Wanasan's plan was impressive, almost airtight. I didn't expect it to be unraveled so quickly.
I just got
Csak
lucky.
kihozta a
There
sodrából.
was some dirt on Yui Mamiya that Kuwana could have used against her. If we hadn't found it, there's no way we would have gotten her to talk.
What are you talking about?
Sorry, but I'm under no obligation to tell you.
Na, és most már ott a magasló.
You'll be sent to prison as a sex offender as it stands.
Of course, just as I planned. The charges will be confirmed, and I'll be convicted. As for the police and the prosecution, they wouldn't be able to admit they made a mistake. I could scream, "I killed Mikoshiba" at the top of my lungs. It wouldn't matter.
Are you saying you intend to admit to the murder after you're released?
Everyone's seen the video of me killing Mikoshiba by now. It's obviously authentic, but the prosecution and the police are saying it's fake. They need it to be fake. Even if I do confess, they'll sweep it under the rug.
They wouldn't.
No, that's not beneath them. But I take it how they react doesn't really matter to you. All you want is to humiliate the law, don't you?
Tehát ez is a terv része,
Same system
srácok.
that determined Toshiro-kun's incident didn't happen.
Tehát azt állítja,
It seems you're
Ehara.
starting to understand,
hogy
Yagami-san.
amint lejár a büntetése, ugye a szőnyeg alá söprik a gyilkosságügyet, meg azt is, hogy ő rajta van a videón, mivel a törvény nem téved, és ha ő egy nunifogdosó, akkor nem lehet gyilkos. Ezért a terv az, hogy miután kiszabadul, bevallja, hogy ő volt a tettes. Így fogják kiröhögni a törvényt, hogy elmondják, hogy ő a gyilkos, és így látni fogják az emberek, hogy a törvény a saját hibáját is eltüntette. Fasza. Szegi, bocsánat, Abdul, Ratten, köszi szépen, srácok, Rorizm, köszi szépen a 4 évet, GG a Batchhez, nagyon szépen köszönöm, 4 éve itt vagy, Ghost Free, köszi a 7 hónapot, Solar Future, köszi az 1 évet neked is gratulál a Batchhez, köszi szépen, srácok. Szóval, ja, ez mennyire durva, be fogja vallani, és így fogják megszapatni az igazságszolgáltatást fullosra.
If the prosecution wanted to charge me for Mikoshiba's murder, then they'd have to retract the battery verdict. And that would mean admitting to a massive blunder by the court at the hands of a criminal. It would be chaos. Despite knowing who murdered Mikoshiba, no one would know what to make of the case. Wouldn't that just be wonderful?
I hear you. And I even get why you'd feel pretty proud of accomplishing that.
Do you?
But in this case, the guys pretty much grabbed the tiger by the tail.
What tiger's tail?
Someone's issuing orders to the thugs in Kamurocho from behind the scenes. He's the tiger in this case. And they've been closing in on your partner, Kawana. And Sawa-sensei got in their path. I'm sure you get the newspaper in here, right? You know, don't you? Sawa-sensei was killed after the thugs broke into her home. All because she got involved with Kawana.
Ezt lehet, hogy nem.
I'm aware she was killed.
Tudod róla, jó.
This is the first I'm hearing of the reason why. And by thugs, you mean RK?
Yeah, but we don't know why they're going after Kawana. Any
Hát, tudja.
ideas?
No way I'd know.
You think it could be because she got mixed up in your deadly little game?
Excuse me?
That's what getting away with murder really looks like. The more you perpetuate the lie, the greater the rift you create. And then, the unthinkable happens. Kawana killed others besides Mikoshiba. You said so yourself. That's what brought the angry tiger into play. And if Sawa-sensei ended up paying for that instead, then how can you begin to believe your vengeance is fair?
Because she gave false testimony.
Igen,
She lied
hamisan
to court to
tanúszott.
say Toshiro was never bullied.
Igen, ezt
She
tudjuk.
couldn't name Mikoshiba, who was a minor at the time, without evidence. What's more, she was haunted by her testimony, always second-guessing if she did the right thing. But now she's been killed. Somehow that's acceptable to you?
Nagyon durván forgatja Yagami a csábót, mint az állat.
I'm
Kurva
gonna
jól
clear up what
van
happened
megcsinálva
to South
ismét.
Just like you did for Toshiro-kun.
How?
By going public with everything you and Kawana did. The first step is to appeal the sexual battery and undo this whole lie.
You never groped Yui Mamiya. That's one crime you're innocent of, Ehara-san. The court's verdict was incorrect. So please give us the chance to appeal. We can prove your innocence.
What on earth would I get out of that?
You get to humiliate the court again. Besides, what are you gonna do for the next half a year in a cell?
Fine. Do what you want. But just know this.
Yes?
I have no intention of admitting to killing Mikoshiba in court. Is your appeal still worth a damn?
Tehát bíróság
We won't know
előtt
till we
úgy,
try.
hogy ha most
Let's go,
ártatlannak
sorry,
ítélik a fogdatási ügyben, nem fogja bevallani egy gyilkosságot. Így már nem.
We better act fast.
Yes, agreed.
Akkor lesz itt tárgyalás is.
Sawa-sensei's death isn't on me. Even if I have grabbed the tiger by the tail, that doesn't mean I killed her.
By that logic, you may as well admit that Miko Shiba didn't kill Toshiro-kun. You can't have it both ways. Listen to me. Everything about you, about Kawana, about why Sawa-sensei had to die, we're gonna expose all of it. That's the only thing left we can do for her.
Nice. Micsoda? Hogy be kell-e vallania, ha a videóra van véve? Én úgy tudom Vicsmolabból, hogy a videó az közvetett bizonyítéknak számít, és önmagában nem elég. Legalábbis én úgy tudom, hogy ez itthon is így van. Hogy csak videós bizonyíték nem elég. Mert az közvetett, nem közvetlen bizonyítéknak számít. Ezért vallomást kell tegyen, hogy az érvényes legyen. Legalábbis én így tudom. De mondom, tökre lehet, hogy tévedek.
So then, Ihara admitted to killing Mikoshiba, did he?
Igen.
Off the record, yeah. He also admitted Kawana approached him to offer revenge.
Én így tudom,
Sounds like you
hogy
were
az
productive.
alátámasztja
It's enough for us
a
to move forward with the
bizonyítékot,
appeal, I'd say.
meg az ügyet
How does that
a
sound,
videófelvétel, megerősíti úgymond az igazat, de nem használható egyetlen
Kendo sensei?
bizonyítéknak.
The sexual battery and Mikoshiba's murder are the very same case. To clear Ihara of harassment, you'll need to prove he murdered Mikoshiba. But you don't have evidence he did, do you?
Ihara-san was captured on video committing the murder.
Ugye csak?
And the prosecution claims it's a fake of unknown origins. The police
Ennyit
are saying
látjátok?
the same.
Ezt mondom Vicsmolabból. Annyit mondanak a videóról, hogy hamis.
In
Osztja.
reality, the sexual battery evidence against Ihara-san is what was really fake. At the very least, we can claim Yui Mamiya and the others aided in fabricating that, alibi or not.
You really think the courts will grant you an appeal for just that?
Are you saying that's not possible?
Igen, mert igazából nincs bizonyítékunk arra sem.
But Ihara won't admit to murdering Mikoshiba in court. Kind of significant, don't you think? So what chance do you have even if you do appeal? Without any decisive new evidence, you'll just end up splitting hairs over the original verdict. And what good'll it do other than damage your own reputation, Saru-kun?
To be honest with you, I feel like I've been deeply underestimated.
What?
Saori-san, are you actually mad?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I am.
You have every right to be.
Persze, hogy mérges.
Ihara and Kawana devised this plan knowing full well they could manipulate the justice system.
Tehát félig
Have we not
meddig
fallen right into
nyilván
their
nem olyan
trap?
súlyjal,
If we take pity on the prosecution now, we play right into
olyan
their
helyzetben van, mint Yagami volt az első játékban. Tehát Saori-san egy olyan embert védett, akit nem volt esélye megvédeni, mert ő sem volt.
I understand where you're coming from, and you're right to think it, but...
And another thing, while acting as Ihara's defense in the first trial, I never truly believed the claim. I didn't trust the person I was defending, and I felt sick to my stomach even being in the courtroom.
Saori-san.
Ihara likely saw right through that. He probably took great delight in our myopic dedication.
Ezért mérges.
And I won't stand for that.
Igen,
I'm
őt is
gonna show him
kihasználták
exactly
ugyanúgy, mint
what I
mindent
can do.
ebben az ügyben.
What about you, Yagami? I want to hear your thoughts.
Nem ért egyet Saorival. Én egyet értek Saori-sannal, megértem.
We should listen to Saori-san. I understand why Ihara and Kawana did what they did, but I can't condone it.
I see. So you feel it too, huh?
Yes. Although my motivation may not be as righteous as Saori-san's.
What do you mean?
Mikoshiba's murder, the fake groping alibi, the one behind it all was Kawana, and he's in hiding. We need to shine enough light on him that the public can see what he is. And the
Igen,
perfect
kicsit más
place
az
to do it
az
is during
indítéka.
Ihara's appeal hearing.
So it's not Ihara you're after, but Kawana.
Igen, ezért más az
To pursue
indítéka.
Ihara's case, Kuwana-san's actions will naturally come to light.
And if we draw out Kuwana, then RK and the ones backing them will make their move.
Szóval mindenre fény
Soma
derül
from RK said
így.
Sawa Sensei knew too much. Which means whoever's behind them has a secret that needs to stay buried. Even if it
De
means
ki áll az arcade mögött,
and I
srácok?
need to figure that secret out. I owe Sawa Sensei that closure.
Ki áll mögött?
The only thing we can do for her now is make sure the ones pulling the strings pay for it.
Well said. I guess going back wasn't ever really an option.
Genda-sensei.
Looks like I got complacent from all the peace and quiet. Leave it to me to underestimate the younger generation.
I apologize. I shouldn't have been so impertinent.
That should be my line, Saori-kun. I suppose I have to make up my mind after all that.
Genda mindig olyan jó arc volt. Az első
Get out
részben is, meg
there
most is.
and do what needs to be done. And heaven help anyone in your way.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
You heard him.
Nice. Nice. Telefon, halló? Tsukumo. Halló?
Hello?
Yagamishi, are you still in Kamurocho?
Yeah, why? What's up?
I'm afraid RK seems to be amassing in Ijincho. It's very bizarre.
Are they now?
Yeah, I can't shake the feeling that the officers like Soma and Akutsu are still in town.
You think so? If I was Soma, I'd have left Ijincho by now. He's a person of interest in Sawa Sensei's murder, too.
I see. That does make sense.
Things are settling into place here, though. I'm heading back to Ijincho with Sugiura. We got a lot to go over with you when I get back.
Wonder what it could be. Okay, see you soon then.
Most megyünk Tsukumohoz. Csak kell egy taxi. Az utca végén van egy. Először Icsincsóba kell mennünk. Oké, és aztán... Hol is van a... Így jó lesz. 2 taxi után megvan. És a zöld deszka elő! A zöld deszka elő! A zöld deszka... Bazd meg! Vedd már elő a zöld deszkát! Léci! Ja, nem tudja elővenni, bazd meg, mert van velem valaki. Ezt eddig elfelejtem. Olyankor nem tud deszkázni, amikor van társ. Nem tudnak felülni hátra. Tsukumo! Jöttökön van! Mi van az arcade-jel?
That's something. Looks like we're finally starting to see the whole picture.
Kuwana-san, or rather Kitakata-sensei, huh? And his students helped Ihara murder Mikoshiba. But there's still some things that doesn't explain.
Like what?
Like, why
Arcade!
does RK keep going after Kuwana-san? You think that's weird too, right, Yagami-san?
Tandem bicikli kellett volna?
That's the piece of the puzzle that'll lead us to why Sawa Sensei got killed.
Ezt kell megfejteni már csak. Az arcade mit akar Kuwanától? Mennyit tudnak róla? És hogyha ezt a kettőt kiderítjük, akkor talán megtudjuk, hogy miért ölték meg Sawa Senseit.
Before they came to Ijincho,
Mert nagyon nehéz
RK was
elhinni, hogy
originally
csak úgy
looking for
belecsúszott a
Shinya
dolgok
Kawai.
közepébe.
But when they found out he might have been killed, they suddenly shifted gears to Kuwana.
Akkor jól
So what are they
gondoljuk,
trying to
srácok.
accomplish?
We can guess all we want, but that's not gonna get us anywhere.
Igen.
Shouldn't we ask someone in Arcade directly?
Megtudtuk, hogy
They're
Arcade,
strengthening their
az
numbers
Arcade
in
keresi
Ijincho as we
Kawait.
speak.
The coons at the bottom
És
rung
akkor
couldn't
jöttek
even know
Ichinchóba,
that, though.
Kuwana után,
If
amikor
Akutsu or
megtudták, hogy
Soma were around, then
meghalt.
we might get somewhere.
That's true.
Kawai valakinek
Sitting
nagyon
around here
fontos
won't get us
volt.
any further. I'm gonna head into the city for a bit.
És Kuwana megölte.
Quick on my feet,
És azt
That's not
akarják
all
tőle.
I'm going from here right now.
Rossz embert ölt meg. Már nem jó embert ölt meg, csak nem kellett
Yeah,
volna.
don't say that, Yagamishi. Otherwise, what ground do we have to stand on?
Ez lehetett. Valaki bosszút akar állni érte. Valami fontos ember valakije volt Kawai, aki amúgy megérdemelte a kurva anyját, de akkor is, és amiatt keresik őt. Imádom az ilyen küldetéseket, hogy look around town. Hol az anyámban nézek szét, bazd meg? Mi? Menjek, mint a tökéletlen kutya? Ott az öldeszka! Hello?
Hello?
It's Shirosaki. Do you have a minute, Yagami-san?
Igen?
Yeah, what's up?
I was thinking back on our interview with Ihara-san, and something he said isn't sitting right with me.
Na,
So I wanted to ask your opinion.
mondjad.
Which part felt off?
The part about Kuwana approaching other bullying victims besides Ihara-san to offer revenge. Ihara-san also mentioned that most of them rejected his offer, but never went to the police either.
Igen, ezt
Yeah,
mondta, hogy
yeah.
más szülőket is megkeresett már, akik nem kértek a bosszúból, de mikor megtörtént,
Tormented by his beliefs, Mitsuru Kusumoto's leap left him in a coma to this day. That event was the catalyst for Kuwana's actions.
igen,
So wouldn't he have approached his parents about revenge too?
Mitsuru Kusumoto's parents. You're talking about his mother, Reiko Kusumoto, right?
a miniszter helyettes. Na várjatok egy kicsit. Az egészségügyi miniszter helyettes, a szülő azt mondta Ehara, hogy megkereste a szülőket Kuwana azzal, hogy bosszút áll a gyerekekért. A szülők közül sokan nem kértek a bosszúból, de amikor kiderült, hogy mégis megölt őket, nem jelentették fel Kuwanát. Mert tudjátok, ez volt a könnyű megoldás. Ne ölt meg, de ha nem tudok róla, megölheted. Vajon az egészségügyi minisztert is megkereste?
Yes, who is currently Vice Minister of the Ministry of Health. If she accepted or is even an accessory to a revenge plot against Kawai, then there's no way she'd ever want that secret to get out. With her level of influence and power, wouldn't it be possible that she ordered RK to silence Kuwana? Which would explain how RK's actions are being controlled, wouldn't it?
Ó,
And you think it's Reiko Kusumoto?
You don't think vice ministers can control criminal organizations from the shadows? You know very well the answer to that.
milyen érdekes elmélet Saori-szántól.
Tsukumo's actually looked into her before.
Mi
I'll
van
talk to
akkor,
her about
hogyha
it
az
right now.
egészségügyi miniszter
Yeah,
helyettes...
this is genius, Sari-san. This could lead us right to who's controlling RK.
Quite a compliment coming from you. I feel better already.
Mi van akkor, hogyha
Don't sweat it.
Mi van akkor, ha
I'll call you if I
megkereste
find anything
Kuwana,
out.
az egészségügyi miniszter helyettest, hogy bosszút áll a fiáért? Ő azt mondta, hogy ne álljon bosszút, mondjuk. Mégis bosszút állt érte, ő pedig nem hívta a rendőrséget. Ha kiderül, hogy tudott arról, hogy meg fogják ölni a fia zaklatóját, akkor baszhatja a minisztériumot. Tehát lehet, hogy az Arcade, Reiko Kutsumo, akinek egyébként furcsa módon a monogramja is Arcade, ha? Irányítja az Arcade? Vissza Tsukumóhoz. Fura, nem? Hogy Reiko Kutsumo az Arcade. Hogy ő áll az Arcade mögött. Ebben van logika. Előfordulhat. F. Bálint, köszi a 3 évet. GG neked is az új badge-edért. Mi a fasz csináltam én, basszak, hogy mindenkinek ezen a héten van évfordulója? Pucéran fölöttem?
Yagami-san,
Valami ilyesmi.
back already?
That was quick. I figured you'd be out in the town until evening.
Well, the day's not over yet. I need you to look into Reiko Kusumoto again. She might be the one behind RK.
Really?
Yeah. Can you pull up the picture of her you showed me last time?
Hottabb volt, az volt. Köszi F. Bálint, GG a vörös meccshez. Kimi Killer, köszi a 26 hónapot. Értem, Eldír.
Okay. Take a look at this, Yagamishi. Reiko Kusumoto became vice minister just recently. It hasn't even been a full year yet.
Még nincs
Looks like she's
egészen
still
egy
got a good
éve
rap.
ebben a pozícióban a nő.
Yeah, there's almost no criticism of her out there.
The ministry revolution, bucking the bureaucracy.
Mondjuk logikus, mert ha csak most lett miniszter, akkor most lett oka arra,
Go
hogy
her.
eltüntesse a múltja
Vice minister is pretty high up there,
szégyenfoltjait.
yeah?
Big time. If she really did take Kawana up on his offer, silencing him would be the quickest way to save her skin. And in that case, she'd need some kind of connection to RK.
Some kind of connection? A bit vague, no?
Fair enough, but RK already took an innocent life while hunting Kawana down.
Right. And after killing Sawa-sensei, they tried to kill me, too. Still, no matter how dangerous the gang, murder is a risky proposition. Then again, if someone's pulling the strings, they have a lot less to worry about. Especially if that someone has vice minister status.
Well, the internet's not gonna give us much else. How about we do our usual thing? Go straight to the source.
Maybe we should.
Vicsmalabból a japánoknál ez
Would it
nagyon
really be
megy.
that easy to get a meeting with someone like her?
A hifi cucc. Kibaszottul szeretik az
Mitsuru
audiót.
Kusumoto's still in a coma, right?
Lejátszó
Yes.
szinten is,
If
hangrendszer
he's in a
szinten is,
hospital, we can catch her by surprise
fejhallgató,
there.
fülhallgató szinten is.
I get
Iszonyat
you.
mánia ott ez.
That might work.
A csiliárdos
What's
inírt
this
füles
now?
gyűjtés is például kurva nagy divat
what
arra
now?
felé.
Breaking news from the net. It says manhunt for Sawa-sensei's murderer.
And?
It's hitting the network news, too. The person they're after is...
Wanted for the murder of private school teacher Yoko Sawa in her own apartment.
Embervadászatot
Kanagawa
indítottak.
PD is conducting a search for the suspect, self-proclaimed handyman Yu Kitakata. Nearby
Why are they looking for
security cameras
Kawana?
captured footage of
Őt vádolják a
Shouldn't they be
gyilkossággal.
after
Sawa-san's former teacher before and after the incident.
Baszki.
It's also surfaced that
Tehát
he's been
embervadászatot
using his
hirdetett a
false
rendőrség
identity for
Kitakata
over a
ellen,
decade.
Kuvana
The
ellen.
police are hopeful that their search will turn up some sort of connection to Sawa-san.
Miért Kuvana után mennek? Miért nem Soma után? Ebbe is benne van a miniszter?
If Kawana-san was caught on camera, then surely some RK thugs were as well?
Yeah, I think so. On that note, I should have been in the footage too. The police only seem to want Kawana, but why? Guess we'll
Meg
have
kell
to ask
kérdezni a
them
zsarukat.
ourselves.
Ask who?
Detective Watanabe from Kanagawa PD. He was the guy in charge of Mikoshiba's murder.
Köszi, Proxy.
Been a while, hotshot.
Itt
Yeah,
van
I guess it
Watanabe.
has. Hey, I'm curious.
Hallgató.
Do you have any evidence that Kawana killed Sawa-sensei?
I take it you saw the news? Kawana was caught on camera near the crime scene, plus he knew the victim. And if that's not enough, he was using a fake name.
Aha, tehát ebből a három dologból rakták össze.
But I saw Soma holding an ice pick up to Sawa-sensei. Plus, there were RK footprints all over the scene. So why is Kawana the only suspect?
Because the big boys with big balls at HQ said so.
Valaki irányítja a
Barking at me
rendőrséget.
won't get you anywhere.
Fentről,
So this is
srácok.
all just pressure from upstairs?
Aha, a
What is
főnökség
going on
mondta, hogy őt vádolják meg.
Why are you so
Erre
bad
viszont
shape?
biztos, hogy csak egy politikus
One is a
képes.
legitimate suspect.
Senki
and
más.
all we're doing is following procedure. So stick your private investigator schnoz somewhere else.
You know, you sound pretty bent out of shape yourself. Where are you right now?
Uh-huh.
I was thinking maybe we could meet up. How's a free pass to bitch about your work sound? Abe-san?
On the phone, in person, there's nothing I can tell you.
He hung up.
Shit.
Yagamishi. I
Csonasz,
managed to
köszi az
focus
egy
in on the
évtier 3-at.
background
Nagyon
noise
szépen
from the
köszönjük
phone
haver a támogatást,
Despite
és
all the
gratulálunk a
interference, I
patchhez.
have a good idea of Nabe-san's location.
What? Seriously?
He's on the main drag in Chinatown. If you go now, I'm sure you'll find him.
But is he even gonna listen to you?
It won't matter if I miss him because we sat here wondering.
Vagy
Yagami
csak úgy
Detective
simán
Agency. Quick
szajba
on its
rugom.
feet indeed.
Hoppá!
Can't compete with that.
I can't compete with it. Nabe-san should be on the main street in Chinatown. Japánban is van Chinatown. Állat. Na jó, meg kell keresni a zsarut. Tudom, hogy nem rossz arc a zsaru. Tényleg nem rossz arc amúgy. De akkor is szájba rugom, ha nem befél. Oh. Volt ez a secret technique, Twisting Viper. A throw that counters an enemy attack while your EX gauge is less than one segment charge. With the EX gauge less than one segment charge, hold R1 and press... Oké. Ez a titkos technika. Én azt mondom, hogy haladjunk sorba. És akkor nem lesz gond. Aha, ez kérdőjeles. Requires a skill book. Na, még van pénzünk. Nice. Igazából... megtanuljuk az egészet. Aztán majd lesz valahogy. Na. Chinatown, ugye? Chinatown. Itt van Chinatown. Holy shit. Az angolos krós kurva szárad István. Aztán jól megnyomtam. Áó. Hello. Beszivárgó egység vagyok.
For real?
A rohadt anyádat, az a dupla lófa! Gyere! Nincs on. Gyerünk! Hajja! Bazd meg, hogy mekkora range-ed volt, te genyó! Bocső! Kapták. És nem halt meg. Peri? Oké, nem lehetett perizni. Ezt nem tudom, hogy nem. Csanasz, köszi az 1 évet még egyszer neked is. Nagyon köszönjük, és zöldség köszi az 5 hónapot. Ezt a pöcsköszörűt, bazzeg. És belesétáltam egy másikba, bazd meg. Van ilyen? De nem bájatok, nem. A másik irányba megyünk, ugye? Yes.
Come on.
Oké. Kaptam. Kapta. Nice.
What a waste.
What a waste. Erre tovább. Erre, ugye? Aha. Milyen bolt van itt? Ez milyen bolt itt? Élelmiszerbolt? Cigi? Van kaja. Ez a bentó, ez a legjobb, nem? Anyám, ebből 10 lehet nálam. Az OP, mint a szar, nem? Vagy csak szarrál magunkat kajával. Nagyon jó. Jó. Fú, ennél egy csomó mindenben van cigi is nála. Egy dobozzal veszek. Nagy már ne. Várjatok, és Toughness Z. Stamina X, ez kell nekem. Ja, maximum van belőle. És ebből is. Jó.
ありがとうございました。
Petya, köszi szépen neked is! Az 1 évet, nem tudom, mondom még egyszer, valami történik ilyenkor. Valami történik ilyenkor. Nagyon szépen köszi az 1 évet, haver. GG neked is a badge-edhez. Count-tal, köszi szépen a 14 hónapot. Menjünk a picsába. Itt is van egy bolt, lassuljunk le. Hát valami ruhabolt, vagy valami ilyesmi, és nem kell ezeket agyonverni. Úgy mindjárt ott vagyunk. Mi ez, fagy is? Hagyjatok! Ez accessory, ez a belt? Other Indies are 20, okay. Ez egy 5%-os attackköv. Nekem jó. 20%-os boxer alsó. Attack 20%-os boxer alsó? Kell. Nekünk felsőnk volt, ugye? 10%-os. Úristen, 200... Atyaig. Oké. Nice. Items. Gear. Inner bottom. Boxer alsó. És... Safety belt. Na most. Decked out. Decked out. Ezt megérte. Totálra megérte. Oh, ez gyanúsan Chinatown lesz. Áó, levettem testtel. Itt is van egy boat. Ez a boat? Nem ez a boat. Itt a boat. Igen, itt volt. Ez mit árul? Fagyit! Zsebre vagyok, 3 fagy. Hát, ha melegünk lesz. Na, itt vagyunk Chinatownban. Itt kell legyen valahol a csábó. Hopp, 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 hopp. Dremora, köszi a 30 hónapot. Lő 30, lő kerek 30.
And you were...
Ez a izé. Háttérzaj.
Oh, right.
I take it you didn't just happen to be in the neighborhood.
Let's just say some friends of mine have a real keen sense of smell. Something stinks about the cops here.
Excuse me, pal?
Gyere te bajszos geci.
Why aren't you going after RK? Or are you and you're just keeping me in the dark?
This isn't the place to talk about that. What the... Hey!
I get the feeling something's keeping you guys from doing your jobs. And I don't have to listen to you.
You want to say that again?
Sakurai,
Legyen balhé, könyöröm, ezt a csábot hagyj verjük agyon.
Huh?
Ó.
Need to take a piss, Yagami? You're looking hydrated.
Yeah, good call.
Jó arc lesz. Jó arc lesz és jön, és elmondja, hogy mi van.
Damn. What's he up to?
Hát, ha elnyögő, kiáll az egész dolog mögött.
Nice spot you brought me to. Very romantic.
Well, we're about to have a shitty conversation. Might as well do it with a pleasant view.
Nem volt rossz
Do the
eddig
cops
sem.
really believe Koana is responsible for Sawa Sensei's death?
We wouldn't be looking for him if we weren't serious. We even have a warrant.
To arrest Koana?
His real name's Yu Kitakata. He's been using a fake.
Any services right at the murder scene of his former student?
Letartóztatási parancsok is van.
In my eyes, he was suspicious enough.
What about Soma from RK? He should have been spotted on the nearby cameras too, like when he entered her apartment.
He wasn't.
How is that possible?
Let me rephrase. There's no footage that had RK anywhere near it.
What's that supposed to mean?
From the moment Mikoshiba's murder went down, the higher-ups have been busy playing politics.
Mondom én, srácok.
I had a handle on things when we were just competing with Tokyo PD over who got to grill Ihara. But after that murder footage came out, it really stirred shit up. Sawa-sensei's case has me scratching my head too.
Szóval mindent a politika irányít.
And they think it'll work even in this day and age.
You're saying the whole force is in on a cover-up?
Aha. A teljes rendőrség itt Yokohamába el akarja sikálni ezt az ügyet. Kinek van ekkora ráhatása a rendőrségre?
Any footage that had the RK guys tagged in it is totally wiped.
Mindent letöröltek, amin az RK rajta van. Bármilyen felvétel, bizonyíték, vagy bármi ilyesmi.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Kinek lehet ekkora hatalma?
Kawana leaving her place is all that's left. Even the parts where you show up are long gone.
Még Yagamit is letörölték a felvételről. Annyi van, hogy Sawa meghal, és a következő felvételen az majd Kuwana eljön onnan.
Who would go so far to erase the footage? Who would do something like that?
It's time to let it go, Yagami. Mikoshiba's case and Sawa-sensei's case, they're closing the book. And to tie up the loose ends, and this is
Köszi, Domjén 80-ot.
Kawana has to die in an accident.
What?
As soon as they track him down, they'll put him into custody and then blame it on negligence. They'll say he resisted arrest and died in the struggle, I guess. Someone clearly wants Kawana gone, and they have the power to do it.
Szóval megadták az utasítást a rendőrségnek, hogy letartóztatás közben
Clearly a target of someone higher up.
meg kell halljon Kuwana véletlenül.
He won't be able to stop it. As far as I'm concerned, the case is closed. You wouldn't understand until you've been on the force. When the team you're playing for is rotten to the core.
Azért, mert neki se tetszik, azért mondta el. Mert neki se tetszik, hogy így történnek a dolgok a rendőrségen belül. De Kuwana meg kell halljon letartóztatás közben véletlenül. Méghozzá azért, mert ha letartóztatják és nem hal meg, beszélni fog. És nem beszélhet semennyit sem.
Asshole. Did you forget that you were talking to a detective?
A kurva szár!
You never did answer the question, Nami-san. Who had the
Kinek van ekkora hatalma?
Who wants Kawana dead so bad that they do it inside?
Even if I told you, what the fuck could you do about it, detective? Smartass! Leave it alone, Yagami. It's for your own good.
Is that your call? Well, I think I'll be the judge of that.
Ajjajjajjajjaj, Yagaminak is elment az össze. Teljesen. Nyomozó ellen? Lesz dádá. Bosztány. Minél több IX kell. Nagy dodge volt. Oké, csak szólok, srácok, 2 ütésből majdnem meghaltunk teljesen. Csináljuk a nagy ugrást. Megint 2 ütés, megint majdnem teljesen halott. Valahogy éreztem, hogy be kell vásároljunk. Fogyasszuk el a szereket. Az a baj, kurva nagy poison van a... Aha, igen, tehát teljesen mindegy, hogy mennyire ütöm meg a tagot. Nem kapsz staggert. Látjátok? Tehát ő folytatja a move-jait. Igen, meg is fog ölni. Hihetetlen, bassz meg. Ezzel az egyetlen egy ugrással tudunk valamit sebeszni előtt, mert akármelyikkel light-attack-kel kezdem el ütni, ő folyamatosan üt. Nem baj, most már lejjebb vittük az életét. Fasz meg, elkurtam! Ezt nem szabad elkúrni?